right, so, yeah, last time we learned a little bit more about you people. It was the 100, and that's approximately how many seconds I made into it. So now we're gonna go with, let's go with a horror. A horror, either film or television show, I'm not sure. But it's number 7 in the United States. This is called Evil.
I like houses when they're empty.
Oh, that looks kind of nice. That's a nice frame. That's a nice frame. It looks interesting. Violence, self-harm, suicide, fear, language. Still no sex? Come on. Come on. You're boring me.
Sometimes I just sit there.
Okay, more voiceover, just with the voiceover, always with the voiceover. But again, it's a little oblique. He says he likes the quiet, he likes the space. It doesn't necessarily mean that he's talking about, something in particular. It might just be thematic, so we'll see. Okay, but he was talking to the therapist or whatever the fuck. Still, it's open. Leave it open. We'll see where it's going. I mean, that's not a horrible voiceover. It's not just being used for exposition. He's thinking, he's talking about himself, he's giving us some insight into character. It's a little, I don't know, a little staid, little trite to have him be a killer or whatever. But still, it was a little bit of a segue there.
So help me get the timeline straight, Orson.
So, okay, whenever somebody just tosses in something that is one of those dumb person's smart things, like Occam's razor, when you just toss that in for no real reason, it's concerning. It's concerning when you have that from a character this early on. So, again, let's see how it goes. Okay, so obviously ever since Silence of the Lambs, there has been a trope of the psychologically incisive murderer that you're trying to interview. And we've got a short-haired female, authority figure who might be a police officer, FBI agent, psychologist, whatever. So we'll see how much it's following those lines.
567 true or false statements.
Okay, so we've started out. We're a little bit into this. There's just been dialogue, no exposition. It's been a tete-a-tete, a little back and forth here without them explicitly talking about, okay, this is what's happening, this is what's going to happen, that kind of a thing. It's these two trying to get something out of each other, so at least there's something going on there.
Faults, but thanks for asking.
I like the sound of a woman screaming.
Okay, well, that is a crude test. It's not exactly the Voight Kampf from Blade Runner. You come upon a turtle and you turn it over in the baking soda, whatever. Not exactly that. Just, I enjoy true or false. You enjoy the person screaming. Okay. And that's really his trigger. That's really the trigger. That's a little on the nose, we'll say.
You are a full-time employee of the Queen's DA's office, Miss Bouchard?
No.
He didn't ask to enter the well. I'm just saying. Okay, so some kind of a backstory related to religion. I mean, that's fine. Obviously, it thematically rolls into the rest of the structure of the whole story or whatever. I don't know how this show's gonna work. Like, if it's gonna have the same characters and situation for the entirety of the season, or if it's just gonna have like one episode and it's gonna be more procedural, where they have a different kind of setup for each episode. I don't know, but still, all right.
Thy will be done.
Oh shit, that actually got me. Okay, that got me. I gotta give it credit for that one. Shit. I was like doing something else. I was thinking of birds or something, and yeah, that got me. Now, okay, so obviously anytime there's a setup, and this isn't really the fault of the show, but anytime there's a setup where it's like, oh, she doesn't believe in the supernatural, and other people are talking about the supernatural, then the payoff's going to be obviously that there is supernatural stuff. So that's a little straightforward, but you can't knock the show too much for that. That's just the structure you kind of have to have. She looks like a scrawny owl or something. That was not a good look. Good look on that walk. She's got kind of a weird but vaguely interesting face.
Your
Um,
Honor.
that attorney would not be able to have ex parte communications with that judge like that anyway, so that wouldn't actually happen. Holy mother, she has 4? She has 4 of those little shits? Holy hell.
Don't poison them against their father.
Okay, so this is exposition to establish backstory, and it's not as bad as you generally see. It's not great, there are better ways to do it that's going to have more substance, but it's actually not that bad.
Or I swear, I'm gonna take that money I still owe you and burn it on my lawn.
She doesn't have a cell phone? Cell phone's not a thing in this? Is this a period thing? I didn't say period because she's a woman. Probably didn't need to say say that.
Opportunity.
Sorry, I don't get much heat out here.
This guy, he's like really boring somehow. Like a really boring human being.
We want to hire you to help us assess him.
Just to be up.
Her eyes are close together, are they not? Like really close. Like if she was going swimming, she could just wear the monocle kind, as opposed to she wouldn't need the dual one, the bionicle. No, the bonicle. No, I don't. Okay. Okay, I like that contrast. The contrast, not bad. We are only 13 minutes in. It's creeping along.
This was a few nights in a row, so I recorded the last.
She had a cell phone. There are cell phones, so I don't buy it. I don't buy this stuff.
Orson.
Okay, so there's something like I don't know, just not enough about what's going on so far in this. It just seems a little anemic for the kind of setup you need. Like, there's not enough going on with the protagonist. There's not enough going on with the characters she's met so far. And there's not enough going on with, is he possessed versus crazy kind of stuff. There's not enough behind those things to really be of interest. Oh.
You don't believe in it?
I believe it pays the rent.
Okay, so I mean they already have that's frustrating because you already have the protagonists and you would have this kind of lightning rod version of, because they're representative of the viewer. So you'd have this lightning rod of skepticism that you get to work with going forward. But now that you have somebody who seemingly, on the surface is just part of the whole thing, the extra world here, who already, doesn't buy it or whatever, that really kind of undermines your world. It could be a matter of decentralizing the world from the protagonist a little bit, because they're not the only one who's skeptical or whatever, but because we know the protagonist is going to be wrong, as we go along, then it does that less effectively. So it's kind of better if you had them unified and they have this established history, the people with the Catholic Church. It'd be better if they had that established history abutted against the protagonist's skepticism. So, I don't like that. God damn, I'm a genius. Did you hear me? I'm a fucking genius.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so there's just not enough, fundamentally, there's not enough that has been established already. This guy should have a personality. He's a wet blanket. There's just nothing to this guy. The structure around this guy doing the murdering and why he did it, there should be some kind of an established, motive, or he has a history of X or Y, so there's some kind of ambiguity there. Instead, it's just kind of this empty thing that's there, and oh yeah, he killed a whole bunch of people, and now she's trying to rationalize it, and it just, there's not enough for her to chew on when it comes to rationalizing why he would do these things. If he had a history of being a member of the Crips and he's doing drive-bys all over the place or something like that, then that's one thing, but we don't have any sense of what his history is. They've got a nice house. They look like they're doing perfectly fine, so it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. There's not enough to it. All right, we're getting a little sketchy at this point.
Philae probe lands on a comet 100 million miles away.
This is a gall-damn boring conversation too. I mean, obviously we've seen this kind of a conflict in movies all the time, and TV shows. So you're not really getting much out of this when it comes to drama or tension or interest or intrigue or anything like that.
I saw a shaman in Kazoo train.
Okay, I'm bored. I'm done. That was it for that's long. I got in there. I got close. I was just 16 minutes. That's the record so far, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not gonna tell the show to go fuck itself, but I'm bored. It can go like shit itself or something, and we'll see if we can find something better. All right, yeah, bye.